I'm gonna show you how to make a good prompt in 6 steps. Very simple. I'm gonna explain why it's important and I'm gonna give you an example. And then at the end, I'm gonna show you the full prompt. So let's go. My name is Thomas. You can call me Deli, co-owner and co-founder of DL Automations. And together we make businesses work smarter and more efficient. It doesn't matter if you're in school, work, have your own business, AI is gonna be used everywhere. So it's not gonna be about who's gonna use AI, because everyone's gonna use it. It's more about who's gonna use it the best way and who's gonna give it the best instructions so it can give the best results. For example, in school, writing your own essay, those days are over. Like everyone is using ChatGPT to write their essays, which is fine. But the funny thing is the difference between kids getting high grades and kids getting average grades is the way they use AI. And the better your prompting skills, the better results the AI is gonna give. So the better grade you're gonna get. Same goes for your business, same goes for your work. Everyone is using it, but if you're not using it the right way, you can miss out or even fall behind on big opportunities. All right, so before we start going over all of these steps, I'll give like a simple analogy just to make it a bit more visual for you and make you understand why it's so important. So for example, you're going to a restaurant, right? And you don't know what you want to eat. But at this restaurant, there's a world-class chef and he can make any dish you want, anything. Just think about it. Think about your favorite dish right now. Yeah, he can make it. Anyway, then the waiter comes in. And he asks you, okay, what do you want to eat? What should I tell the world-class chef to make? And then you say, honestly, I don't know. Just give me something, whatever works. The waiter goes like, all right, I'm gonna tell the chef, make whatever works. And now the chef is in the kitchen and he just heard from the waiter, okay, I gotta make whatever works. Okay, sure, I got some tomatoes here and I got some potatoes here and I got some lettuce. Let me just make like a quick salad. Should be fine, a quick salad. Right, so the waiter comes, picks up the food and brings it to you. You get this salad and then you're like, I don't like salads. What happened? Well, let me explain. You as the customer gave a bad input to the waiter, so he gave a bad prompt. The LLM, the chef, didn't know what to do. So in this case, the AI, ChatGPT, did not know what to do. It just made up something because it has knowledge. It is trained on data, so it can do something. And it gave you output, it gave you the salad. But you do not like salads, so now you have to go to the waiter again and tell him, yo, I do not like salads. And then the waiter has to go to the chef again and tell him, yo, he doesn't like salads. And he's gonna try again, and he's gonna give you salads with a piece of meat, but then you say you're vegetarian, you know? So what I'm trying to say is, the order you give is the prompt, the AI is the chef, and the output is the dish you get. So instead of saying, just make me something, you should tell the waiter, I want a steak this big, I want it cooked for this long, I want it with this much salt, with this much pepper, I want some French fries with it, with the cheese on top, I want 1 piece of tomato, I want 2 slices of lettuce, and I would like everything to be covered with a lot of ketchup. Now guess what? The chef is gonna make it. So the info that you give is gonna impact the output that you get. I wanna emphasize that this has to become like a everyday thing, not just for work, not just for business. Every time you're using ChatGPT, you gotta stop using it like it's Google. Start using it as your personal assistant almost, because it can really function that way if you prompt it the right way. So this is why I'm gonna explain prompt engineering today, all right? You know, AI cannot make decisions themselves. We already know this. They can only follow instructions. If you give a bad instruction, it's gonna give you a bad result. Easy way to remember this is garbage in, garbage out, or diamond in, diamond out. It doesn't matter, you get the point. All right, so how do you actually make a good prompt? I'm gonna show you how to make a good prompt in 6 steps. Very simple. So in this case, I'm gonna be making a very simple use case. It's gonna be a LinkedIn post creator. This is something that, yeah, if you wanna grow on LinkedIn, you gotta post consistently, but it could take some time, you know, coming up with stuff. So that's why having a GPT creating your content would save you a lot of time. And yeah, let's go. Step 1, defining the role. Very important. So why is this important? Well, studies show that assigning the AI a role increases accuracy by over 10% and up to even 25% when you emphasize expertise. So that's a lot. But by the way, I put all the sources in here. You can check it out. Yeah, like everything I'm gonna say in this video is backed by real data, not just my personal experience. So you can check it out. I'm gonna put the link of the Figma board in the description so you can check it out at your own pace. So let's give an example of what's a good definition of a role. In this case, for a LinkedIn post creator, I would tell the LLM, you're a high-performing LinkedIn content creator known for writing viral, insightful posts that attract leads for business-to-business services. So as you can see, it's a clear rule, and that means the LLM knows what it's up to or knows how it has to act when giving responses. So let's go into the next step, which is defining a task. So why is this important? Another study has shown that chain of thought prompting actually helps the AI to do a better job. So what does this mean? Give it like clear task, what it has to do, instead of just saying, yeah, just give me this, or like a bad description of the task. It's not really gonna understand what you mean, and thus it's gonna give you a worse response. Especially when the task has multiple steps, very important. In this case, writing a full LinkedIn post with a hook, main idea, call to action. You gotta give it like these clear instructions. So let's go to the example. Your task is to write a 100 to 200 word LinkedIn post that shares a valuable insight about using AI for small businesses automation. Structure it with a strong hook, value, takeaway, and call to action. So as you can see, it has clear chain of thought prompting, and it's defining the task separately so it knows what it has to do. Large language models, they really love it when it's organized. All right, so after defining the task, we're gonna give it specifics. So what does this mean? With specifics, we mean, for example, you want to LinkedIn post like Elon Musk. Well, then in this case, you will have to give the specifics to this LLM. I want you to write this LinkedIn post like Elon Musk would do it. And why is this important? Well, including this in your prompt can help add emotional framing or add truthfulness and quality. It's also a source right here, you can check it out. And then for example, you could tell the AI to use a confident but relatable tone, speak to agency owners and solopreneurs, or avoid buzzwords and make it feel like a real experience and not a generic tip. Because the thing is, if you do not add this in your prompt, it's gonna give you like the most ChatGPT like answer you've ever seen. And we can all recognize when someone uses chat or someone wrote something with chat. So if you want to make it seem like you actually wrote this, then you have to add the specifics. So step 4, context, very important as well. Why is this important? Well, providing real world context helps the model stay relevant to your goals and audience, especially in business use cases. Let's say you want to write a LinkedIn post and you are running a real estate agency. Well, guess what? The AI doesn't know you run a real estate agency. You have to give it context. Like, I've been in the real estate agency niche for about 20 years. I've done this many projects. I've helped this many people. You know, give the AI some backstory so it can give a better holistic result. For example, you're writing this as a founder, sharing lessons learned from helping small businesses automate their lead generation with AI tools like ChatGPT and Make.com. The goal is to build trust and start conversations. In this case, you're describing how you would want the people to interact with your post, which is fine as well. Again, the more the AI knows, the better results it can give. So context, really important. All right, so step 5, give examples. Very important. Why is this very important? Well, studies have shown that few shot prompting massively increases the model's understanding of what good output looks like. So if you give an example of here's the input, here's what I want to get as the output, then the AI is gonna understand it better what output it should make. Preferably, you want to keep it to like, I'd say 3 to 5 examples, because if you make more than, I don't know, 10 examples, it's not really gonna work. It's not gonna add anything to the output. So just keep it to 5 good examples, and this should be good enough. Example 1 of the output would be, most people think automating your business means replacing humans. Truth is, it just means your humans can stop doing $5 an hour tasks. Sounds good. Example 2. What took me 6 hours a week now takes 4 minutes. AI doesn't just save time, it saves sanity. Now these are good examples. And now you may ask, Deli, how do I get these examples? Well, good question. All of the best content has already been made, let me tell you. So what you just do, you go on the internet and you type in anything that you would want your post to look like. You copy them, give them as examples in your prompt, and there you go. Now the LLM knows what it should make. And then we're at the last step, step 6. Went by fast, huh? Well, let's go. Step 6, the notes. This is for when you wanted to give it extra details to your prompt just to make sure the LLM gets it right. These are the icing on top of the cake. So let's go over it. Why is it important? The lost in the middle effect shows that AI pays more attention to what you say at the start and at the end. So let me explain. If you give a huge prompt with a lot of text in it, the AI is going to understand the first part and the last part the best. So anything you say in the middle, it could get lost. That's where notes come in. When you put in the notes, emphasize on this part in the middle of the text, then the AI is going to be like, oh, okay, I have to answer this question or mention this part in the middle because apparently it's very important to the user. And it's a very interesting article, by the way. You can check the source here. But it's also for like the details. So example could be, please do not include hashtags or emojis. Make sure the first sentence is scroll stopping and the last line encourages comments or DMs. So in this case, it's more like details or format wise, but it could also be like, let's say you make a long prompt and then somewhere in the middle of the prompt you mention that you're gonna make posts catered to elderly people. Now you write a lot of other things in your prompt, and then eventually when the prompt is done, you add to your notes, make sure the post is catered to elderly people so the AI doesn't forget. And that's it. All right, so the results, how would it look like? A good prompt would look something like this. You have a clear role, you're a high-performing LinkedIn content creator known for writing viral, insightful posts that attract leads for business-to-business services, as we went over. As a clear task, add specifics, context, examples. You can add some more examples if you want, and important notes. So as you can see, it's pretty short and concise. The thing is with a prompt, it's not what you think it is, where if you type like a whole essay, it's gonna be a better prompt. That's not the case. The LLMs like it when things are concise. So whenever you're making a prompt, make sure to not add any unnecessary text because it's not gonna work in your favor, right? Now let's compare it to a bad prompt. There will be something like, yo bro, write me a LinkedIn post. By the way, how's the weather in Ohio? And my cat just died, but fuck it, he was annoying anyway. You think it's gonna give a good output? I don't think so. But what I do think is that you have a better understanding of how prompting works now. And if you agree with me, you should leave a like, subscribe, because we're gonna give some more technical tips and videos. And of course, you wanna join us on our journey. We post a video weekly of what we're doing with our AI automation agency. Join us there. Yeah, it's been Deli, and see you in the next one. Peace.